All right, family. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page. Two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member. Link for the membership right down in the video description. Is in the chat. All you have to do is just click it. You get a video introduction rundown on the membership, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website up on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed by the General, strictly for the brothers. It's an amazing, amazing program, course. All you had to do, click the link over in the chat. You can get the preview. Also included the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable live stream, where the brothers meet once a week discussing very powerful, vital, and potent information pertinent to our growth and development. Make sure you get over there, family, get the preview, become a brother, become a member today. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. Got something for your family. I know you're going to like and love. Get over there, check it out, family. Check out that catalog, get a discount, shop and save and shop. And everybody know the General got the poppiness page on Patreon. By far, we got that work over there. I want you to go get it. Electric Melanin and the Explosive Black Mind. Yes, indeed. We're going to be teaching on black divinity, of course, dealing with the melanin, the neuromelanin in our brain and in our body. You see the electromagnetic force of vibration, thought. You see connection to the universe. We want to deal with it. You see it's our way out of this. You feel me? Once we understand our divinity, everything else going to fall in place. We even got the cosmic netters, the netters of chaos, Waret, and Sobek. You see cosmic chaos deities dealing with chaos, very aggressive deities, looked at as protective deities, even in the magical system or the mystery system, protective gods and goddesses. We want to deal with it, family. Also to the family that donate to the General, thank you, appreciate you. Those who like to donate, the link is there for you, and I thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Family, we're going to be talking about, did Donald Trump create the United States Space Force to defend against the Annunaki? Is it some coincidence that, Donald Trump would create this Space Force, which have already been here, which we're going to deal with under various names? You see, under various names, but now, they've come out in the open and they got this Space Force. And what's crazy, they got this first space analysis squadron with the Pharaoh as the icon. You got the Sphinx, the Hormacket as the icon. And, and so is it something about, what does Egypt got to do with this, this first analysis space squadron? What does the ancient Nile Valley have to do with this Space Force? That's very significant that we find that out. You see, because they got some, and I see that eye, the watcher, we see the all-seeing eye out there. We see the lightning bolt, and we can deal with some of the symbolisms that's there as we move along. But I'm gonna bring you some clarity on what this Space Force is supposed to be, what is its mission, and then as we deal with some of this information, we're gonna chop it up and we're going to dialogue, family. Here we go.
Allowing soldiers to psychically spy on Space Force started in 2019. But what if that's just the cover story? The real version? It began over 40 years ago with psychic soldiers, alien bases, and a secret military unit called the IPU. Let's get into it. We'll start in the shadow of Roswell. In 1947, the crash happened in New Mexico, and it triggered something called the Interplanetary Phenomenon Unit, or IPU. It was supposedly created under the U.S. Army Counterintelligence Corporation. Some say that General George C. Marshall and even Douglas MacArthur had oversight. The IPU shows up in Army memos, but by the 50s it disappears, and it folded into black programs. Still, in the 1990s, ufologist Timothy Good got a response from the U.S. Army acknowledging that it had existed, but all records were allegedly destroyed. Now, jump to the 1980s. Major General Albert Stubblebine, head of the U.S. Army INSCOM, he believed that the mind could be weaponized, and under him, Project 8200 quietly expanded remote viewing, allowing soldiers to psychically spy on foreign and non-human threats.
You hear that? They saying that motherfuckers could telepathically spy on motherfuckers. So they believe in motherfuckers got the mental powers. You see what I'm saying? Like Xavier on goddamn X-Men. You see what I'm saying? Telepathically spy on motherfuckers. So is that real? Can motherfuckers do that? Can we do that? Do we have the ability to do that? Is that one of the lost abilities of black divinity that we got to tap back into? Is that one of them? We got to look into that now. We got to look into it. Here we go.
Pat Price was one of the most accurate remote viewers, and he claimed to have seen alien bases under Mount Hayes. This is in Alaska, and even on Mars. Now, he passed suddenly in 1975, but his work did live on in black projects. Stubblebine teamed up with General James Pouts to form a group that some insiders called ATP, which was a classified analytical and paranormal task force. Some say that they confirmed what Price saw, and that changed everything. Now, while this was all happening in the Army, the Air Force quietly launched something in 1982 called Air Force Space Command, and its job? To control satellites, missile defense, and maybe more. And by 1983, a shadowy program called Manned Spaceflight Engineer, or MSE, emerged. This was run by Rockwell International and the USAF, and it trained military astronauts. But the public never saw the full crew list, and the New York Times covered it once in
I be mind reading too, family. That's when I be in my debate. That's how I know what a motherfucker gonna say before he say it. And I already had them nuclear bombs waiting on their ass and shit. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I do these motherfuckers. I'm the motherfucking X-Man. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, the Malcolm X. Yeah, that's what my X stand for. Believe it.
1989, and then it was silence. But Space Command never stopped. Insiders nicknamed it Guardians of the High Frontier, a name that would return when Space Force was officially created in 2019. In his memoir, The Day After Roswell, Colonel Philip Corso, who worked under General Arthur Trudeau, claimed that Stubblebine was one of the few people cleared to work with recovered alien tech. And then there's Richard Bissell, the CIA architect behind the U-2 and Area 51, in fact, and he's linked to early satellite and reconnaissance programs through the National Reconnaissance Office. These were programs that continued in parallel with Space Command. And it all fits. IPU in the 40s, psychic surveillance in the 80s, and now Space Force today. A continuous line of defense, not against other nations, but something not from this earth. So, is Space Force really new, or is it the public face of a decades-old mission to monitor something bigger, something we can't quite explain? Drop me a comment if you want a deep dive on any of these under the U.S. Army Counterintelligence Corporation.
Yeah, family. So, this Space Force shit been out there for a minute. You feel me? I believe that Guardians of the Galaxy shit, and a lot of that shit is based on what they have today. And so, but they pretending, they still, because when you think about it, they only been here for, doing research for the last about 100 years. They ain't got no more than 100 serious years. I give them, I give them 200 at the most. You see, 200 at the most, but for real, in the last 100 where they didn't reach, the pinnacle, and now they already in decline. They already in decline because everything they do is outside of the framework of cosmic law and frequency. They want to go against frequency, cosmic frequency and law. And you ain't, and that's gonna be your demise every time. Because you're not gonna beat the cosmos. I could tell you that. That's a fact. You see, you're not gonna beat the cosmos. You can't even beat Mother Earth. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't gonna beat Mother Earth, let alone the cosmos. You see, so that's what it's about. So, but see, they know something about Egypt because everybody. That's why I keep trying to tell people. They be doing that. That Sumerian. The Sumerian thing is a misdirection. It's a misdirection because really, the only reason they promote Sumeria is because of the three Western religions of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. Abraham supposedly originating in that area, and so they promote Sumeria. But other than that, it is nowhere in comparison to ancient Egypt. So all of that is folklore, made up folklore and shit. The majority of it is folklore. And they didn't have scrolls like that. And they had little seals and shit. They didn't have no scrolls. They didn't have no goddamn scrolls. A lot of that shit that come up out of the Mesopotamian, Sumerian, supposed, and believe me, that's us. No lie, that's us, but it's small, very small in comparison to Egypt. And matter of fact, when you look at Mesopotamia, it was as far as production, it was less than the Naga Kush. You see, when you start going into the Naga Kush, they have more of a prolific, resume. As far as carving in the stone. You see what I'm saying? They had a more prolific resume. So, I put the Naga Kush over Babylon, you see, which is, again, not to denote that that's our peoples. It is our people. But they had a lot less, as far as resources and things of that nature. Not a whole lot of stone, a whole lot of mud. Mesopotamia was the civilization of mud. They built everything with mud, brick, and so that's why when you go to all the ziggurats and things of that nature, it's all melted down. It's mud. The little bricks you see there today, they put them bricks there. Saddam Hussein put them bricks over there to give you the illusion that that was a part of the original structure, and it was not. So the Sumerians didn't even master stone building. They didn't have no goddamn stone. You see what I'm saying? They didn't have no damn stone. So that's just what it is. And so when you look at the Naga Kush, which today they called it India, you see that they had a more prolific resume in carving in stone than Mesopotamia. If you could show me any likewise, if you could show me, I don't want to talk long. If you got any, give me the top 10 megalithic structures of Mesopotamia, give it to me, and we'll talk about it. And then I'll give you the top 10 or top 5. We ain't even got to do 10 because you ain't got 10. You might ain't got 5. But if I say the top 10, I'm gonna pull you out in the deep, and you ain't gonna want to even, you ain't gonna want to take the challenge because goddamn well you ain't got 10. You see, Bricks is an Asian invention. Bricks is not an Asian invention. Bricks were invented in Africa. The Asians were nowhere around when Africa had bricks. You see what I'm saying? Bricks, everything Masonic come out of Egypt. You see what I'm saying? Everything, because the pyramid of Zolja, the step pyramid, was built with bricks. Yeah, yeah. They had stone and they had bricks. Now maybe you talking about cement. I don't know if they, and I believe they very well, it might have had cement, but they had bricks too. You see what I'm saying? They had bricks too. When you look at the where blocks, well, you can say blocks or they brick. I believe they bricks. On bricks. But depending on what you talking about, what they made of. If you talking about concrete, and I believe that the Egyptians even had concrete. You see, they very well may have had concrete too. So a lot of the master bars and what you mud brick. They used a lot of mud brick for the master bars too, depending on what you're referring to as brick. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're talking about maybe cement, I don't know, but I believe that because they had to have something else in them structures besides mud, because them motherfuckers still standing right now today. You see what I'm saying? They still standing right now today. You talking about, man, you talking about into the second dynasty. Man, I mean, it's mind blowing what they not talking about. You see what I'm saying? The shit that they not talking about is mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? Cause Casa Kimway, man, listen here. This man had a wall. He had a master bar. He had a palace and the wall. And we talking about the second dynasty. You understand? I believe Casa Kimway may have been, I don't know if he was the first king of the second dynasty. Man, this man got a wall. You see, and part of the wall, I don't know if it's all the way around, but I know on one side it's completely standing. And it looked like the wall got to be at least, man, the wall got to be at least 15 feet high. You see what I'm saying? Man, listen here, this is the second dynasty. You know what I'm saying? And that's got to be one of the oldest structures in Egypt, that Casa Kimway wall. And for them to be building like that man, they blowing goddamn, man, listen, Mesopotamia ain't got shit standing on no level of ancient Kemet at all. They ain't got nothing. Half of that shit over there was mud. You see what I'm saying? And so the Egyptians, they had a form of concrete too, because that shit's still standing. From goddamn, you talking about Casa Kimway had to been in the late. Casa Kimway had to been in the late, at least 2800, 2900 BC. He had to be around 2900 BC. He was before Zolja. You feel what I'm saying? Zolja, I believe, was the first king of the third dynasty, if I'm not mistaken. Zolja was the first king of the third dynasty. And so Casa Kimway was at least 3 or 4 rules before Zolja. You see what I'm saying? So Zolja was at 2700, right around 27. So Casa Kimway had to be 2900 BCE. And this man got a wall still standing. You feel me? So Zolja, the first king of the fourth dynasty was Sneferu. No, Zolja was let me see. No, he wasn't. He might have been. Let me see when Zos. No, Zosha was in the third dynasty. The first king of the fourth dynasty was Sneferu. And after, Sneferu, then came, let me see. Right. Yeah, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafra, Menkaure. That's how that came. Third dynasty. Zosha might have been the last king of the third. I said first, or maybe let me see what he was. I was right. I was right. Zosha was the first king of the third dynasty. I was right. Yeah, I was right. You know goddamn well I know what I know. God damn it. So Castle Kenway, I believe, was the first king of the second dynasty. Let me see if I'm right. I might be wrong, y'all. Let me see. I might be wrong. No, I was wrong. Well, shit, where is he? They don't even got him in the goddamn. He might have been in the first dynasty. I thought he was in the fucking second dynasty, but he might have been in the first dynasty. I thought they placed him in the damn. Well, they don't got him in there. Okay. I'm tripping. These motherfuckers changing shit up, man. These motherfuckers changing shit up. I ain't gonna look no more. You know what I'm saying? But I thought Cassie Kenway was, yeah, I'm thinking Cassie Kenway was the second. Let me see something, man. There you go. Let me see. The second dynasty. Cassie Kenway was the last, okay, he was the last pharaoh of the second dynasty. Okay, he was the last pharaoh of the second dynasty. My bad, y'all. But anyway, so we see that when it comes to the astronomical, astrological, you see mastery, they go to Egypt. You see, and so we see that this Space Force and shit, this first space analysis squadron, and it's been going on for a minute. They use Egypt as the blueprint, you see, for all of this. Now, all this movie shit, of course, is created to throw your mind out there when the reality is, the hard facts is down here. If they could keep you up there, they're going to be all over in the tombs and shit. You ain't going to want it because y'all niggas on some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a bloodline that only go back 200 years and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you niggas, and everything else is real cloudy and shit after that. You feel me? And so if they can keep niggas' minds over here in the clouds in the gray area and shit, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be over there in them tombs where they know the science is, and they're gonna be getting, they're gonna be getting the real while niggas over here, you understand, fabricating theologies and shit to make their ass feel good. You feel me? This is what's going on right now. You know what I meant to tell people, right? And I'm about to move on. I'm gonna tell you right now that everything in culture is in a decline. You feel what I'm saying? Everything in right now, and people in an illusion And that don't mean that they're not individuals that's elevate. I don't want people to believe, but I'm talking about as mass culture. Mass culture is in a decline. You see, it's going into it's like the Great Depression of consciousness. If you watch anything out here right now, everything is in a serious decline. But peoples of the day actually believe that it's ascending, but it's not. You see, now if you look just like you look at hip hop, see how they canceling shit? They getting rid. You know, even this nigga that is gone. It's really they didn't cancel the BET, which ain't shit, but it's just letting you know you ain't got shit to replace it. Everything, even motherfuckers talking about the NBA. Do motherfuckers know that the NBA is got a 53% viewer decline? Do y'all know that? But motherfuckers say LeBron is the greatest, but yet and still the NBA viewership is in a 53% decline, viewer decline. Do y'all understand that? Cut in half. 53%, more than half. Motherfuckers ain't even watching it like they used to. So people don't, and I'm gonna tell you, this consciousness shit is in the same position, in a decline. When you look at the height of it, that's when the African Center, you understand, now you in the decline. You see, you ain't got no greats. These niggas ain't great. No, they ain't. No, they ain't. You fooling your motherfucking self. You fooling yourself. None of this shit would be here. But see, they can't compare. You see? And I tell niggas that they can't compare. Where was you when the Masters was out here? I don't want you to show up and start fighting coffins. Y'all niggas fighting dead men and women. You see, where was the fuck you at when the Masters was here? Where was the Masters in your ideology when our Masters was here and they was begging for goddamn debates? They was begging for debates. They would have took on anybody, wasn't running from nobody. You see what I'm saying? We had Dr. Ben, we had Khaled, we had Dr. Ben, we had Shaka Musa, and they was ready for anybody out there. You see what I'm saying? Where was y'all master teachers? Nowhere. You didn't exist. So then y'all come and then y'all want to attack dead men and women, but you didn't have no major prophets or teachers at the time when our greats was out here. Where was you at? Where was you niggas at? Nowhere. Nowhere. You ain't nowhere now. So in our mind, motherfucker think, but actually they in a decline. Nigga, consciousness is in a decline. Motherfuckers is reaching for smoke and you understand? That's all they doing right now. They reaching for smoke. Ain't nobody talking about no fact. Ain't no scholars. These niggas can't go into no further than a little area. Right here. You see what I'm saying? If they go anywhere outside of them 100, 200 years, they already know that's going into deep and their ass gonna lose. Flat out. Because the masters and already put the facts out there. You cannot rearrange the facts. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. So niggas can keep thinking that they doing something and they ain't doing a goddamn thing. Yeah. Consciousness is in a decline. Consciousness is you see, consciousness, see the thing we have to understand. Let me explain something. Consciousness only means you're aware. Consciousness does not mean you had the goddamn truth. Okay? Consciousness means you're aware, but it don't mean you will do a goddamn thing about it. Even if you're conscious, you could be conscious of some bullshit. People have got the wrong definition of what consciousness is. Consciousness only means you're aware. Okay? You could be conscious of a motherfucker burning up in the goddamn house. That don't mean you gonna do it. You will stand there and look. What the fuck do that mean? Consciousness don't mean shit. We talking about black divinity. You got to, what is the substance of that consciousness? You see, people got all kind of they're aware of some bullshit, period. You see what I'm saying? So consciousness as we know it today is in a goddamn decline. You see? And motherfuckers can go to sleep now. Yeah. Consciousness, man, yeah. It's just like that power meter. That shit go up and then go down. Just like any goddamn thing. It's in a motherfucking decline. You see what I'm saying? The quality of the consciousness. That's what we should be concerned about. You feel me? Motherfuckers have always been conscious of this goddamn beast and ain't did a goddamn thing about it yet. Ain't did a goddamn thing about it yet. Been conscious of this bitch all that time. Ain't did nothing and been conscious of him for thousands of years now. Ain't did shit about it to the extent to get this motherfucker off their goddamn back. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality of that. But anyway, family, we got this crazy ass, United States talking about they got this. Matter of fact, let me put this one out. I couldn't get off here without doing this.
Just funded the creation of an actual aircraft carrier in space. Imagine a massive.
They talking about they building an aircraft carrier
just
for
funded
space.
The creation of an actual aircraft carrier in space. Imagine a massive orbital platform, not floating on water, but circling Earth, launching and retrieving spacecraft like fighter jets. That's the vision behind a $60 million contract awarded to Gravitix for its revolutionary orbital carrier concept. This space-based hub would allow satellites and spacecraft to dock, refuel, get serviced, and redeploy.
Man, they just had to go get some motherfuckers they left up there just not long ago. Motherfucker got stuck up there. Yeah, they probably could pull it off, but it'd take them many, many years to pull that shit off. And the United States don't seem to act like they could get up there free. It seemed like they was, man, am I tripping? But it seemed like they was going up in space more when I was younger than they going right now. You understand what I'm saying? They just was blowing motherfuckers up, man. I actually seen when they blew them, when one of them motherfucking spaceships was going, I seen it when it blew up live. Everybody was was watching it and shit. Was we at school? I think we was at school and shit. They sent motherfuckers home. We was watching it, and the motherfucker just blew up. Everybody was watching. Motherfucker just blew up right there on space. Motherfuckers was looking like, was that supposed to happen? You did? You saw it too, Ray? Yeah, man, shit. I think I was like in 5th grade when that motherfucker blew up. I was watching. Then it was another one that blew up. But the other one, I don't know if I was watching that one live, but I know back in the day, yeah, elementary school, yeah, that's when I saw it and shit. And motherfucker, man, and the motherfucker, and I looked, I was like, damn, was that? I don't think that was supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? But seemed like they was going more up the Challenger. Yeah, it seemed like they was going more up into outer space when I was younger than they really going now. It's like they didn't decline somewhat. I think, you know what I'm saying? They didn't decline because they ain't, we was at school. That's when I was in the 5th grade. No, you was talking about 9/11. No, I wasn't in no 5th grade, no 9/11. But I was watching that shit live too. I was when 9/11 happened, I was getting my hair cut. And nigga was cutting my hair, and I was just sitting there watching and shit, man. Just watching and shit. And man, I looked. No, I saw the second one. I saw the second one. The first one had already hit. And I say, damn, they say, man, look, man, they didn't hit the motherfucking World Trade. I say, what? Like, and I'm thinking somebody just ran. I say, goddamn, how goddamn dumb can you be to fly into the goddamn World Trade Center? So we were just sitting there and he cutting my motherfucking hair. And I seen the motherfucking plane when it came out the side of the screen. And that motherfucker hit it. And I'm thinking to myself, man, how in the fuck 2 dumbass motherfuckers run into these damn towers like this? And soon as they hit it, I could hear the newscaster. He say, I think this is an act of terror. And then I say, oh, man, then that kind of changed niggas' whole, frame of thinking. Like, oh, man, this a terrorist attack? Yeah, but in my mind, it's like they done fucking man, their ability to go out in space is almost like it didn't decrease. Cause they ain't going, man, shit. Back in the day, they was going in they was sending a team up there like every year. They was sending a team up there. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, they was sending a team up in that motherfucker. Let's finish this.
Basically turning low Earth orbit into a futuristic launch pad. It could transform how missions are handled, making space operations faster, smarter, and more flexible than ever. With this move, the US isn't just racing to space, it's planning to command it. And with the aging International Space Station set to be deorbited in the coming years, this orbital carrier could be the next giant leap in space infrastructure. Do you think we're ready for military spaceports to replace science labs in orbit?
Man, fuck flat Earth. Them motherfuckers ain't on shit. So yeah, they saying that they about to go up there and they about to establish some military bases up there. I believe they're gonna try. They're gonna try. They're gonna try, and they probably gonna get some shit up there. They probably gonna get some shit up there, but that shit they gonna have to, nigga, they gonna have to master going back and forth up there. You understand? They having problems. They got motherfuckers stuck up there in every goddamn thing. The motherfucker, they had to go up there and rescue the motherfucker. And matter of fact, the Russians, either they didn't have a spaceship, because the Russians was actually, the United States had been going up there with Russia for a minute. And then they fell out. I don't know when they fell out, and Russia say, fuck you, you ain't. And so they left some motherfuckers up there. Yeah. They left some motherfuckers up there. They had to, they had to go up there and rescue them motherfuckers. I think they either had to use what's the motherfucker? Elon Musk, or that motherfucker from, I know that motherfucker from Virgin that owned Virgin Records and shit. He got some, he supposed to be taking people up there too. Him and Elon Musk. Yeah, they was stranded up there for some months. They were stranded up there. Yeah. All right, family, we got to come. We're going to come right back, but they using our science. You can see they, with this Space Force shit, they using our science. They know something about us that we don't know about our goddamn self. So you niggas keep playing with all these, you understand, trying to disconnect from the Nile and all of that. Go right on ahead, nigga. Won't be me. Won't be me. You niggas can go run through the swamps and shit and play with rocks and shit and do whatever. I'm fucking with this high science. You feel what I'm saying? I'm fucking with the high science of these black primordials. You niggas go play in the mud. This is General Sarah Sunseti saying, hey, get over there to Patreon. I got that file. I don't want you to miss it. Y'all know I'm on one. If you want to, you understand, you want to go where the mind has never gone before, then goddamn it, get over there to my Patreon. Click that link at the top of the chat. I'll be right black. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.